you repeatedly told us one thing over and over again. Typically it was after you forgot something on the grocery list, or Yaya was chasing you around with a wooden spoon. But that one bit of advice that you continued to say was, boys, Father, you're not a grandchild. Mom, last night I felt so bad for you. I'm really sorry. So anyway, we're gonna go back to my one-liner. See how this goes. I didn't rehearse this, obviously. But it was always, boys, sorry, girls too, but boys, if nothing else, never ever get married. Never ever get married. So, he was wonderful. But then we sophomore year came around and we were able to drive cars on our own. And we took the train up to Chicago, and this really, really pretty, wonderful human being started showing up in Oliphant with me, which is the place that we actually became engaged. And Papu was the first person to find out. His advice changed. And instead of never ever get married, it was hurry up and don't screw up. And so throughout the rest of high school and sporadically throughout college, we'd spend a weekend or two in Chicago, and it was a wonderful time. And it was great being with Yaya and Papu. And I love calling my grandparents, talking to them, whatever they remember, it's great, it's fine. And Papu loves his grandson, I'm sure, but every time I'd call, it'd be, hey, Hugh, how's it going? How's our girlfriend? We might not have been dating at the time, but he always wanted to know how Rachel was doing. And he loves and adores her, and strongly encouraged this day to come. So it's upsetting that he wasn't here, but it's great that this day finally happened. He had a big part of that. And I promise this was all planned out originally. It just happened that he's not here. So the next part of the skit was going to be Papu. So now I didn't take your original advice. I took your later advice because I'm the first one amongst all these domers to get married, which is why they all turned up, and many people from Rachel's side of the family and my side showed up too, and we appreciate that. But I would have been like, so now that the day is cemented and it's happened, what would the next step of advice be? Because he hasn't given that one yet, and I was already going to do this, so I'll just skip the intro part and refer back to Yaya and Papu have now been married 57 years, 56, 57 years. Many wooden spoons. But 7 years ago, I had the good fortune of celebrating the 50th anniversary of Yaya and Papu at the same place where they had their first child, which was pretty cool. And Rachel was kind enough to join the Gregory family on that occasion. And I know that's a moment we both cherished. And Papu got up. As he gets older, he talks more, but he got up and he gave one piece of advice that I want to bestow on Rachel, and Papu and I were supposed to ad-lib this part, so it won't work quite as well, but I'll give it a go. And that was, basically, what was the trick? How did you get to 50 years, right? Because the wedding is one day, and Rachel and I hope to share many one days. And that was, sorry. There are a couple decisions to make, the small decisions and the big decisions. And he let Yaya take care of all the small decisions. And in 57 years now, we'll jump ahead, he took care of all the big ones. And in 57 years, how many big decisions do you think there's been? That's right. That's right. So they're still married. So with that said, and welcoming Rachel into our family, and I've always felt very welcomed into the Craighead household, I'd like to propose a toast. First off, given the circumstances, to your health, and that you may live many, many more years. And second of all, that 50 years from now, Rachel and I may be surrounded by just as many friends and family, and I'll get to say that same lame joke.